Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Politics on the Hindu Originals YouTube channel. This is the channel where all the original shows on the Hindu's earlier YouTube channel have now been moved. We have been rehoused. Now, this is also a show where I, Nistula Hebbar, political editor of the Hindu, takes you through some events that have been making the news in domestic politics. Now, this week we will talk about the tug of war between Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and his deputy DK Shivakumar. This has been raging for some time in terms of ceding the space, the CM's chair from Siddaramaiah to Shivakumar. There is a talk that there had been some sort of a half-term arrangement for a while, and this has now gone on for various meetings and two high-profile breakfast meetings, but quite apart from the basic power tussle issue, the nature of the tussle, of the history of half and half arrangements, especially within the Congress, and more to the point, the history of what has happened in the past between organization men like DK Shivakumar, who run the muscle and the warp and weft, or the nuts and bolts of the party organization when they make for a bid for the top job, is an interesting aspect of our politics. I think that needs closer inspection, and that is what we will be doing in this episode of Talking Politics. As always, let's start with the story so far. Now, ever since the Congress party formed the government in Karnataka in 2023, there has been talk that Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar will be splitting the CM-ship in a half and half term arrangement. This is a 2.5-year term each. Talk that is, I must admit, largely from the Shivakumar camp, with the Siddaramaiah camp stating that no such arrangement had been signed off on, that the High Command had told him to be Chief Minister for all 5 years. Now, Siddaramaiah's camp has maintained that he continues to enjoy the support of the Congress High Command for the full term, and the mandate for the Congress is largely perched on his Ahinda, that is Alpasankhaka and Dalits and backwards community support base. Having moved to the Congress in 2005-2006 from the Janata Dal S, he is seen as a mass leader with the Ahinda support and popular across the state. He doesn't have too much to do with the Congress's organization as such. Now, on the flip side, DK Shivakumar is a Vokkaliga. He commands support of this large electoral bloc, which is about 16% of the Karnataka electorate. There are two large caste blocks that are there in Karnataka. One is the Lingayats, which largely support the BJP, and the other is the Vokkaliga. And then, of course, there is a division of Dalits, minorities, etc., along party lines thereafter. But these are the two big chunks. And the Vokkaliga vote bank basically accrues to both the Congress, especially under DK Shivakumar, but also had been traditionally associated with the Janata Dal's S secular, which is the Devegowda family. Although Shivakumar has managed to best the Devegowda family at the hustings several times in the past, and has established his leadership over the Vokkaliga vote bank. He is seen as a quintessential organizational man, the one the party depends on for electoral management and also arrangements whenever any of the Congress's governments are in danger of having their MLAs poached. He is seen as a good crisis manager and combative towards the opposition. He has been in the party since 1986. Therefore, his loyalty is seen to be unquestioned at a time when there is a regular hemorrhage of Congress leaders switching sides to the BJP. Now, the High Command on its part has demonstrated that it rather not deal with the issue. Even party president Mallikarjun Kharge, who hails from Karnataka, is well aware of the issues on the ground and in the party there, has kicked the can down the road. Sources say that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi is in favor of Siddaramaiah, while his mother Sonia Gandhi has seen merits in DK Shivakumar's claims and basically has left it to the party to decide what they want to do. And this is all despite Shivakumar being jailed on graft and not yet leaving the party after that, because there was a lot of pressure on him to quit the Congress and turn and just blab out whatever has been happening in the background. Now, these two breakfast meetings, sources say, have been about optics, but nothing else, as other MLAs of the party are getting restless over the continuing impasse. The governance is being hit. People are confused. Party people are confused. MLAs are confused. And they're constantly being asked to choose in terms of loyalty. This is not a good situation for any party to be facing. In biographical details, these two leaders seem a repetition of a pattern that we have seen before. One leader considered a mass leader who is not so involved with the nuts and bolts of organizational work, so therefore not tainted, so to speak, with tactical compromises required to run parties, gather resources, fight elections, get support on board for tricky legislative business or the government. The second is the organizational man, the 3 a.m. friend, the details guy who charts the routes and builds the bridges to get to the goals. And he is, in terms of, knowing party workers, but it is a bit rough and ready in manner. He's the speaker of home truths, so possibly not so palatable to leaders and workers alike on certain days, but he controls the party machinery, runs the poll booths. Former Law Minister Hansraj Bharadwaj had once told me in an interaction that in any team, one needed do sucche or do lucche, or in its English translation, sinners and saints alike. But all of it is okay in theory, and if sinners and saints kind of reconcile themselves to their fate. In many cases in political parties, people have varied strengths and weaknesses. And whether or not they can be matched to the top job is a question that the party deals with. In my experience, when organizational men seek the top job, as they should in political life, everybody is entitled to having their own ambitions. They are sidelined in order to project someone considered untainted by the compromises required to run a party. And largely that does not end well for the parties. In the Shiv Sena, we saw the party split when Narayan Rane walked out. He was an organization man, strong man from the Konkan belt. Then Eknath Shinde, strongman from the Thane Kalyan area, he walked out with his supporters and split the Shiv Sena. In Assam, in the Congress, current Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, patiently awaiting his turn behind Tarun Gogoi, had to face the same situation where he was told that even if Tarun Gogoi's day is done at the top job, he is not the automatic choice to replace him. Possibly Gaurav Gogoi would be projected. And so he split the Congress there, and he has kept the Congress out of power in Assam for a decade now. Now, sources close to DK Shivakumar have said that he is not the kind to split the party, although he has the support of more than a few MLAs. But in this continuous tug of war on the CM-ship, he has signaled that he is determined that his continuous association with the Congress since 1986 needs to trump Siddaramaiah's outsider persona, at least now. That Siddaramaiah has been rewarded enough that it is the core party man to get his turn. In politics, statecraft is a virtue, acquired painstakingly through victory and defeat. Congress needs to remember that it has, through the last 11 years at least, lost many of its leaders and its extra bench strength in statecraft, leaving a rump which is unable to win elections. It has had a very, very bad electoral record. All its organization men have deserted the party in the past. I think of all the people, of all the organization men, I would say that the Chhattisgarh Chief Minister, former Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel was the only one who had been rewarded and made Chief Minister immediately without a problem. Also because the Jhiram Ghati incident where, Maoist Naxalites wiped out an entire generation of Congress leadership, possibly led to the fact that he was the only option there. But he also had to face frequent issues where T.S. Singhdeo said that his deputy chief minister, T.S. Singhdeo, said that he had been promised the chief minister's job after the 2.5-year term by Bhupesh Baghel. Of course, that also weakened the party from within and possibly contributed to the party losing the polls the next time around in 2023. Therefore, the Congress needs to know that it needs to keep its people, with statecraft close to it, and they need to tread carefully. They need to not repeat old mistakes when it comes to these things. Breaking bread or idlis in this case is just procrastination, sending the wrong signal to the rank and file. It sends the signal that the High Command doesn't want to take a decision on this issue. They just want the problem to go away somehow. And secondly, that the man that the party trusts may not be getting his due in this scenario. Whatever the decision, because we are nobody to tell the Congress party or any political party what decision they should be taking, but whatever the decision that they take, it has to be palatable to both sides with a nod to history. The more things change, the more they remain the same. In politics, more than anything else, men and women of ambition will always have to be managed. Kicking the can down the road is not a solution. Both protagonists here have strong claims, but only one has had that claim validated so far. We await a decision in this long-running soap opera. Thank you so much for watching. This is all I have for you this week. I shall see you next week.